The descent into a cave system begins with the immediate, total evaporation of light. Your eyes search for a horizon line that no longer exists until the surface world is swallowed completely. Navigating these tunnels demands a constant, heavy battle against spatial disorientation and the crushing weight of claustrophobia pressing in from every side. A cave holds no malice. The stone is stationary and indifferent. Yet the twisting geography of these underground networks is perfectly structured to unravel the human mind and physically lock a body in place. Looking at a cross-section of a typical cave reveals three specific structural architectures of entrapment. First, the looping maze. Second, the unnatural bend. And finally, the vertical pinch. These specific geometries reveal the terrifying progression of what happens to the human psyche when the Earth progressively closes in. In May 2003, Chris Molino entered this type of environment, a vast, gray-walled lava tube in Washington state. He left his family at the entrance, carrying light gear and a map he had memorized from an online forum. Roughly 100 feet in, Molino reached a dead end. Following the layout in his head, he squeezed through a tight right-hand crawl space, assuming it would lead him straight into the main chamber. Instead, the passage stretched on in total silence. He encountered a collapsed ceiling, loose boulders and dirt plugging the tunnel. The map no longer matched the stone in front of him. Molino scratched an X into the dirt floor. He walked 400 paces forward, searching for an exit, only to look down and find himself staring directly at that same X. Over the next 5 hours, his sense of direction collapsed. The ground beneath him seemed to tilt with every step, and his rapid breathing filled his throat with the metallic taste of absolute panic. Molino eventually found a hidden crawl space and escaped. His ordeal highlights a grim truth. Long before the rock physically crushes the body, the darkness destroys the mind's orientation. In December 2003, Javik Henderson and Michael Shiro ventured deep into Florida's Boy Scout cave, an environment defined by tight, jagged limestone tunnels. An hour into their descent, they reached a feature known as the hairpin curve. It is an agonizingly sharp bend in the rock, barely wide enough to accommodate a single human torso. This diagram illustrates the mechanics of the friction trap. As Henderson tried to twist his body to clear the severe angle, he became hopelessly wedged. The jagged walls locked his ribs and pelvis in place, halting any movement. Michael crawled in directly behind him to help push him through, but he wedged himself into the exact same slit. This eliminated the remaining empty space and created a total physical gridlock. Though the air inside the cave was safe, they became victims of psychological suffocation. Panic forced their breathing to quicken, expanding their rib cages against the unyielding stone and making them feel choked. Trapped against the frigid rock, Michael's exhausted muscles failed entirely. He collapsed, falling completely unconscious, pinned inside the narrow tunnel. The hairpin curve illustrates that a cave doesn't need a dead end to trap you. It only requires a path that violates human biomechanics. The ultimate physical trap occurred in July 1998 at Keyhole Cave. Craig Douglas was navigating Paul's Pipe, a 1-foot-high horizontal crawl space that terminates at an 8-foot vertical drop. Reaching the lip of the pit, Craig extended his legs down to search for the floor. His left foot caught, and as he shifted to free it, his right knee violently jammed between two solid slabs of bedrock. Any attempt to wiggle backward compounded the pressure on the joint. With gravity pulling his torso toward the pit, his entire body weight hung suspended from that single immobilized knee. Craig endured this compression for over 30 hours. Circulation to his leg disappeared, severe hypothermia set in from the freezing stone, and the oxygen in the tight space dropped to dangerously low levels. Rescue workers chipped away the bedrock inch by inch, but they couldn't reach the final obstruction. Craig had to take the hand drill himself, enduring extreme vibrations shooting through his exhausted arms to shatter the final holding stone. The bedrock pinch represents absolute physical defeat. It leaves you paralyzed in impossible pain, relying entirely on external machinery to ever see the surface again. The human cost of these extractions is severe. Michael Shiro lay in a coma for nearly a full day, and Craig Douglas suffered permanent damage to his trapped light. Whether the mechanism is a spatial illusion, an impossible angle, or the compression of solid bedrock, the rock itself remains completely passive. The true lethal mechanism is the panic the confinement induces. Terror turns a static geographical feature into an active biological adversary. These stories serve as a haunting reminder. In the pitch black beneath the surface, a single spatial miscalculation leaves humanity entirely at the mercy of the Earth's brutal geometry.